Good morning, good afternoon, or good evening. No matter what time of night or day, I'm still just as glad that you stopped by the channel. So thank you ever so much. Many thanks to all you returning visitors. You are all very much appreciated. Yes, you are all loved. You're part of a family, part of a community that's growing slowly but steadily as time goes on. This is our Sunday message for today. Sunday message titled As the Wave of Homelessness Swells. Elon Musk gets a $1 trillion payday. $1 trillion. Economic inequality at its absolute worst. And a news bulletin that flashed across the wires this past week was something downplayed by the mainstream press. Fortunately for the majority of the American people, this was a story that couldn't stay hidden. And so I now present this in an abbreviated format to you all as a harbinger of how terrible economic inequality has become and how much worse it could get. As long as Donald Trump is president, economic inequality will only continue to get worse if nothing is done about it. If Congress refuses to offer the people any relief, the American people will have to take matters into their own hands. But that's a separate topic for another time. There we go. Anyway, and so Tesla's board just proposed an offer to Elon Musk for a $1 trillion pay package. It would be the largest CEO package in corporate history, handed over to the world's richest man, a CEO who has spent much of the past year ignoring his company. Instead of doing his actual job, he's been gutting the federal agencies that serve communities, including the agency that protects people from financial depredation and abuse, as well as feuding with politicians and tanking Tesla's stock value. This is a quote now from Bloomberg News, copyright 2025 by Bloomberg News. And I quote, longtime investors admit that Elon Musk is no longer focused on Tesla. According to his political crusades to the company's decline. And workers say his erratic involvement has created a bottleneck that drags the entire company down. Yet instead of being real about these risks to the company and to the shareholders, and finding a leader who will put Tesla first, the board is preparing to shower Musk with a payout so massive that it would give him even more control over the company and cement his grip on power for years to come. And the problem does not stop with Musk. Starbucks paid its CEO nearly $98 million last year, a staggering 6,666 times the median pay of a barista. At Exxon, the CEO raked in over $164 million. health insurance executives at companies like United Health, Elevance, and Cigna all earned hundreds of times more than their average worker. Congress, the article goes on here, Congress has the tools to fix this. The Tax Excessive CEO Pay Act, the Curtailing Executive Overcompensation Act, and the CEO Accountability and Responsibility Act would finally put guardrails around runaway executive compensation. These bills would raise taxes on companies with the most extreme pay ratios, cutting off tax perks for corporations that enrich their executives while underpaying their workers, and send a clear message that Congress will no longer allow boards to use shareholder money to reward billionaires for failures and risky decisions that harm us all. Close quote. What does the Bible say about what just transpired here? What did Jesus say about those who enrich themselves beyond all reason? I offer the timeless quote below to do the explaining for me. Looking at his disciples, and I'm quoting the gospel here. Looking at his disciples, he said, "Blessed are you who are poor, for yours is the kingdom of God. Blessed are you who hunger now, for you will be satisfied. Blessed are you who weep now, for you will laugh. Blessed are you when people hate you, or when they exclude you and insult you and reject your name as evil because of the Son of Man. Rejoice in that day and leap for joy, because great is your reward in heaven. For that is how their ancestors treated the prophets. But woe to you who are rich, for you have already received your comfort. Woe to you who are well fed now, for you will go hungry. Woe to you who laugh now, for you will mourn and weep. Woe to you when everyone speaks well of you, for that is how their ancestors treated the false prophets." Now that's from Luke chapter 6, verses 20 through 26 from the scriptures. Now I'm going to break this down for everybody. Verse 20 is for people living in their cars or other vehicles, or in tents, or under bridges somewhere. It is for the destitute, the disenfranchised, the disillusioned, and the disenchanted. It's for the long-term unemployed and for the entrepreneurs whose businesses failed. Verse 21 is for those who go hungry to feed their kids, and for those whose rent or mortgage is so expensive that they can't afford groceries. It's for the elderly, who often have to choose between groceries and medicine. It's also for the depressed, the despondent, and the dispirited, that they may all be healed. Verse 22 is for those who are isolated and alone. It's only when you embrace Jesus and let him be your CEO as you allow him to live within your heart. That's how real change can occur in your lives. With Jesus as your Savior, you will never be alone again. Verse 23 is a command from Jesus, our CEO, our therapist, and our life coach, to be happy in all kinds of circumstances, no matter how bad they may get. And then verse 24 is a warning to the rich that I mentioned further up in this article. Verse 25 is a warning to all those who are well fed. And there are people who are human pigs when it comes to food consumption. They are the ones who never share anything they have, who keep everything all to themselves all the time. Those who are living happily ever after, they soon find themselves devastated. Those who are living joyously, usually at the expense of as many others as possible, will find themselves sobbing uncontrollably at the huge losses they will endure when the financial system goes haywire, as it ultimately will. Verse 26, the final one, warns against those trying to be popular and for vain people with large wardrobes and fancy luxury cars. You all know who I'm talking about. You've met them before yourselves, nearly all of you. They are the ones with the newest and best of everything, all the time, no matter how far into debt they have to go to achieve it. Eventually, they will get old, having accumulated much wealth in their lifetimes, but none will be able to take any of it with them when they finally expire. Some get caught in an endless loop. This is an important lesson to be learned here, courtesy of Elon Musk himself. Here is a man whose sole ambition is to accumulate as much wealth and riches as possible. The problem with that lifestyle is that it is a bleak and empty existence with nothing to look forward to except buying more stuff. Either they finally run out of cash for purchasing anything more, or they run out of room to store it all. They find themselves caught in an endless loop of investing and of purchasing and storing their goods. That is what is the real starting point, rather, for economic inequality? Where does it begin? Check this out. Everything I just wrote about, or just recorded, is caused by the extreme greed of a minority, the top 1%. As far as poverty, homelessness, and unemployment are concerned, they are being caused by those who are abusing the economic system for their own enrichment while leaving the rest of the people out of the cold. Free enterprise and private ownership are like the two propellers of a twin-engine plane. They are what keeps things moving. Free enterprise and private ownership. Entrepreneurs with varying skills such as woodworking, antique shops, and blacksmiths opened up small shops of their own back in the early days of capitalism. Everybody made money and everybody was happy. But then some greedy and conniving people got into the financial and stock markets and reworked them into their personal cash cows, with the 1% ruling elites and the 1% ruling elites took over, and economic inequality starting point became immediately after. Here's an idea about all this. Why can't we have Trump and his cronies recalled? Now that the system is in tatters from constant abuse, and since Congress doesn't have the strength, the willpower, and the resolve to take care of this very glaring problem, we the people are going to have to fix this ourselves. We might as well face up to the fact that President Trump, himself a member of the 1% ruling elite, together with congressional leaders and the Supreme Court, it is they who are responsible for the mess that they have made of our government. This includes those in charge of the financial markets, on Wall Street, and elsewhere. Since it's going to be up to us, we will have to recall from office President Trump, Vice President Vance, and the entire lot of Senate and congressional leadership, and let's not forget about the President's cabinet while we're at it. Recall them all. I wish I had the resources to get this movement started, but I'm just a disabled retiree on a fixed income. But I'm pretty sure there are others out there more able-bodied than I who agree with me. It's too dangerous to wait until 2028 gets here. If we, the American people, wait until then, we won't have a country left. Above all, pray for America and for each other, that we will be made strong enough to withstand the coming economic storm. And that concludes today's Sunday Message. Hope I helped some people out with that. Hope I answered some questions. Help somebody out. But most of all, I hope I was able to reach out and just touch somebody's heart, just to let them know that things are going to be all right. And so, by the grace of God, I shall do just that. If you'd like to make a donation, thank you in advance for that. All you have to do is go to the homepage of my website. Click the donate button at the top right-hand corner of your screen. Or it will be added to the top of the page if you're looking at it on a phone. If you're watching this on YouTube, don't forget to please give me a like, thumbs up, and a share or two, please, if you can. And subscribe. Hey, the subscription to the YouTube channel is free, as is the blogs. Which are located on Substack.com and on Medium.com. Pardon me. You can also help us out by becoming a member. Since we don't ask for 10% of people's incomes here, we do this differently. Membership is $5 a month, or if you like, $50 a year. That, by the way, that works out to 16 cents a day, so that's pretty darn cheap. Does help us out, but are expensive, like for marketing. And marketing is the biggest one. And maintaining an internet presence for the blogs, for the store. And I got a second store in the construction. All that costs money each month too. It adds up. Office supplies is another thing. I don't spend a lot on office supplies. But since I'm on a fixed income, it is difficult for me to do this myself, so I ask for your help. The web address for that for the church is bit.ly/Social Gospel Online Church. It's bit.ly/Social Gospel Online Church, spelled exactly like it sounds. Fill in any amount you want. You need your help. And I'm not going to say anything more about that. I want to thank each and every one of you for the privilege of your time and for sticking with me till the end. You're all very, very much appreciated. Having run out of things to say, at least for this time around, well, everybody be blessed. That's right. I said, be blessed. In Jesus' mighty